Hey guys, it's me, Alieh, your lifestyle wedding fitness coach, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience trekking Mount Everest Base Camp. You guys may have seen videos of trekkers talking about near-death experiences going to the top, but I really have not seen anything about people having this experience of near-death going to just base camp. If you are ever thinking about going to Mount Everest Base Camp, please do not underestimate that level of difficulty. We trekked 80 kilometers in 4 days, walked between 20 to 41,000 steps a day, and we were starting at an elevation of 4,372 meters to an elevation of 5,391 meters. That is higher than Mount Fuji, that's higher than some major mountains that you may have trekked. So that is, like I said before, it is an achievement in itself. It is a very difficult trek. It is not something to be taken lightly. You may have seen my vlog, some videos and photos of me talking about this experience, but what you don't know is that I was also facing this fear of death. June of 2019, it was me and 18 other individuals where we were going through Tibet through Mount Everest Base Camp. However, we noticed by the second day that we really couldn't trust our leader. We really weren't receiving morning briefings and safety talks, and it was starting to become really scary. Of these 19 individuals, I was 95 to 90% of the time the last person. I knew I was going to be a slow trekker. The difference from the front and the back was 2 hours of trekking. So it was that far apart from each other. And so while I was at the end of my trek, I noticed I was the only person, no one else was around me, and I realized there was no safety. Our leader was not there. He went ahead, 7 of us were in the back. He really wasn't giving us any briefing that, hey, I'm gonna go ahead. And that really started scaring me. And since I was by myself, I started realizing like, oh my gosh, if I give up, I really am giving up. My husband's with me. If I give up, I'm also putting him at risk. So the thought of giving up came through my mind almost every single day after day 2, when I realized we couldn't trust our leader and we realized there was no safety backup. And me being a leader as a coach, me seeing the lack of leadership started to really affect me, and I started to go into coach mode by really wanting to help my friends and giving them my essential oil kit that I had brought with me. Didn't think it was gonna be helpful, but it ended up being a lifesaver. Peppermint oil, lemon oil, and all these other oils I had with me. I had to keep telling myself, Layla, you can do this, don't give up. Because I knew that if I fell and gave up, there was no emergency support. My husband was going to be affected, and I just had to keep telling myself I have to keep going. And so I had to stay 100% focused throughout that entire time, and just focusing on one step at a time. The part where I really got scared the most was the part where we had to cross over a river, and I had just learned of this the day before. Since we didn't have safety briefings or a clear explanation, at least that was told to me, of preparing for myself to go through this glacial river, I got really scared because I didn't have the equipment for it, and I did not want to get hypothermia, especially when water is going up here below freezing. And since we had bonded as a team, we all felt the same way, and one girl who was in the front of us, she actually went out of her way and found a bridge. I actually heard a couple people, they found a bridge that was condemned, not working well, but I said, okay, let's do that. And throughout this trek, I was facing questions such as, okay, cross this bridge and risk falling and dying, or crossing this river and getting hypothermia. And another thing that was not accounted for was the fact that we really weren't given clean drinking water. We were using water that was off the river that was boiled, and we would see that it was cloudy. So then we had a choice of, should I die of dehydration or drink this and get sick? And those were the choices I was constantly dealing with, like, choose this or this, die or get sick or die. These are just, or die. But I told myself, no, I have to get through this, I can do this, and I kept on telling myself, I think I can. So what does this relate to you guys? Like, what does this mean for you all? Like, I hope this is adding value. And I just wanted to show you the behind the scenes thoughts of what was going on throughout this time, because as great as the photos looked, we took our wedding photos in my wedding dress. I took my wedding dress with me to Mount Everest, at least my husband carried it. And to take our 4-year anniversary shoot on the mountain, there was a lot of struggle getting there. and that was not easy to accomplish. On the flip side of all this negative stuff that was happening, all 19 of us bonded like family. We found our strengths, our weaknesses. Like Laila, you're the oils girl. Ahmad, you are the altimeter meter guy because your altitude readings are much more accurate than our leaders. So we found ways of helping each other through our strengths. That's what really made the experience really memorable, because despite all these difficulties, this other side that came out of it was like, wow, how do we help each other out? We've got to watch each other's backs. I learned the importance of staying present. I learned the importance of staying focused on where you're at in your life, one step at a time, one breath at a time. Nothing really matters except presence. The support that we received from each one another was just unbelievable. Like words of affirmation saying, you can do it, Laila. Good job, Laila. Good job, so-and-so. I'm so proud of you. Wow, like, you know, you can do this. Like, these things were just so helpful for me to keep going. We watched each other's backs, really kind of became sisters and brothers. That's what really made that experience really special. There's two things you need to have in order to be able to survive and get through the trek and going to Mount Everest base camp or at the top. You've got to have physical strength and you've got to have mental strength. If you have one or the other, you're not gonna make it. You start to debate with yourself and you're starting to kind of feel that way, just turn around. It's not worth it. Just turn around or tell someone, hey, I'm not feeling mentally strong here. Hey, I'm feeling weak. I can't physically keep going. Don't keep it a secret. You have to speak up. Advice that I would give someone when it comes to picking a leader, when it comes to picking a group to go on a trek with, you should look into the following areas. Number one is that you really need to look into the trek history of the leader. Not where they've been to, but the groups that they've led. Don't just assume that because that person has been to Mount Everest base camp or the top that they know what they're doing. It's like a teacher. A teacher could be smart, but that doesn't mean that they can teach. So making sure that you have enough water with you. You need 5 to 7 liters of water a day, not 1.5, which is what we were told to have. Always go with your gut. But going with your gut, and in addition to getting answers to these questions on safety, on leadership, on how are you going to go out throughout your day, what is a backup plan, can I see examples, people, referrals, this is very important. I just want to share that with you guys, and I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or any things that you want to add to this in terms of giving advice on how to prepare for Mount Everest Base Camp. But I really, really hope that you guys have a wonderful experience. I had an amazing experience, and despite all the hurdles that happened, we made it work. And I have to say it was because of the people that went with us. So I have to thank those guys who are watching this that trekked with me. I love y'all. You guys have no idea what it did for me to hear you guys support me and be there for me. And I hope that I was able to do the same. And for those of you guys who are watching this that are thinking about going to Mount Everest Base Camp, you can do it. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and send them my way. And I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys on the next video. Stay active and keep going.